Y'all, welcome back. Welcome back to another episode, family, of the Fitness Headspace Podcast. We are your hosts. I am Joy Monique. King over here is Deion Avril out of Florida. And we're back with another episode. And this week we're focusing on fat loss supplements. Now, I know we covered last episode about food labels, really understanding what these ingredients are that we're, consuming, and give a little teaser about what we're gonna be doing for this week's episode. So now clearly everybody wants to have that desired body type. And what people want, people will try, the other, manufacturers and companies will try to make happen for us. So I know, at least for myself, over the last couple of years, you see like a real push of weight loss supplements, fat loss supplements, all that kind of good stuff. And now we're kind of going to get into today about what's in these supplements. Do they really do what they say they do? And what is the possible side effects? So generally, they're marketed to help boost your metabolism, reduce your hunger, and it kind of helps slow how you absorb food. That way you feel more satiated over time and you won't want to snack and just eat more throughout the day. And so I did a little research for y'all. So according to the National Institutes of Health, at least 15% of Americans have at least tried one fat loss supplement. I'm a part of that 15%. For sure, for sure. But what's crazy to me is that, it wasn't really crazy to see. It kind of made sense that it's mostly women who tend to try the fat loss supplement. So typically it's around 21% of women have tried at least one fat loss supplement, while men is usually only 10%. Kind of made sense. I'm like, generally you see men wanting to bulk up, wanting to gain weight, and of course we trying to just slim down and get everything right and tight. So now getting down to the actual ingredients, of course every product is different. Each one contains numerous ingredients, some upwards of 90 ingredients can be in any given supplement product. Of course, they come in different forms. You have your capsules, tinctures, pills, some powders. So however your mode of taking things, I'm pretty sure you find one that kind of, correlates with that. But typically they all have the same four main parts in it. So you have your herbs and botanicals, you have your dietary fibers, you have your caffeine, and then other minerals as well. And to kind of give like a general disclaimer, most weight loss supplements are regulated by the FDA. The only caveat is that they're not regulated before they get released out into the market. So there's no like pre-approval process. It's really like, as long as you don't have certain list ingredients that should not be in any products, as long as you don't have those in there, it's pretty much, excuse me, it's pretty much just us trusting that the manufacturer has done their own due diligence to make sure that they're having whole real ingredients, or at least safe ingredients in there for us. And but they are regulated to not have any misleading labels on their packaging to say they do these grand things. You can lose 15 pounds in 2 days or whatever. So that's it's the main part that is regulated by the FDA. But to get into the nitty gritty, so let's go ahead and get into some of these ingredients and really outline for you guys what are in some of your favorite products. And Deion, do you want to go ahead and kick us off with that?
Not a problem. Not a problem. One thing I want to say before starting off is piggybacking off of what you had said earlier. And first off, just remember everything that we're mentioning right now is a supplement. This should not be something that you just throw in and say, okay, cool, this is going to take care of everything that I'm doing right now. This is going to help me lose fat. You got to remember everything starts with, first and foremost, your nutrition. Secondly, having some type of physical activity in place. So whether that's resistance training or something of that nature. I know some people do kickboxing, people do all different types of things, CrossFit. So make sure you have those two staples first. Now, the third one would be adding in these supplements later on when you're trying to achieve a certain goal, or for example, it might be certain things that might be running into play. Like, for example, like you said, your satiety and feeling satiated and saying that, okay, cool, I know that I'm getting hungry, but plugging X, Y, and Z might help with, the duration of not wanting to eat throughout that certain amount of time that you're not supposed to be eating, or you feel the urge to eat. So the first one, everybody has heard this at some point, caffeine. But there's different types of, different forms of caffeine. But caffeine anhydrous is one of the ones that I noticed that is one of the most widely accepted, widely consumed, and it's probably the most reviewed as well, too. It has been studied, of course, But some of the things that you will see as far as benefits, right, is that it does help with increasing your performance, alertness, being aware, being able to get things a lot more done more efficiently, because you're able to process your information a lot quicker than you normally would. So I'll give you guys an example. Waking up in the AM, sometimes in the event, not all the time, people will take like like different types of things like Bang, Celsius, Alani, because of that quick, instantaneous like rush of being able to get that caffeine in the body. And it's like, okay, cool. It gives you that quick jolt. And there's different things that it does help with. So for example, blood flow. So being able to push different, for example, your blood to different areas in your body. But a lot of people, while they're working out, being able to have a little bit more contractile force. So all that means to like the norms is being able to flex harder, just harder flexion. So when you're squeezing things, as we would know as the pump, which is another one that I'm going to explain a little bit later. Those are some of the things that it does include. Dilation, and the dilation in your blood vessels. So being able to, again, let things flow a lot quicker. So the thing that happens with some people is the fact that you can like work out, but some people don't feel anything. Like they'll feel something like that little burn, more so to say, but being able to have something that opens up the blood vessels to push that blood where it needs to go for the targeted muscles that you're working on, that definitely does help. Now, side effects. We all know there's always going to be a side effects of there's too much of anything isn't good. We already know that. One of the things that I will tell you for sure is that having too much caffeine and the type of caffeine will cause a crash. So for example, people who would take, and I didn't think about that till now, 5-hour energies and all these instantaneous things. I know a lot of people don't know, but Bang actually makes one that's it's I would say concentrated amount, and it's in a really small little thing. It literally looks like 5-hour energy. I'm telling you, I did it one time and literally I felt my heart in my throat, and it was the most uncomfortable feeling, anxiety. I had the shakes and all that. So just remember everything in moderation. The average person can handle about roughly 400 milligrams of caffeine. But again, it depends on the person, because I know some people, they come from the island, they drink coffee and they have a tolerance. So I know some people who can hit 600, no problem, but that does not mean that you should consume 600. Right. So if you're consuming it throughout the day, yes, that's fine. The second one is Theobromine. It's also found in cocoa. So some of these are going to be more of like derived from a natural plant or some type of, anything from nature, plant-wise. And I think this one is really nice because Theobromine, and there's another one called theanine. They're like the good feel. But the Theobromine itself helps with nitric oxide production. All that means is that you're able to get more nitric oxide into your bloodstream. So again, being able to have that pump. So that feel, for example, ladies, when you're doing your glute kickbacks, you're doing hip thrusts, like, damn, I can feel this in my ass. Like, yo, I feel it working. Same thing when the fellas, when we doing bicep curls, like, yo, I feel that pump. You want to go up to the mirror real quick and just flex on them one time. It's the same exact thing. So the one thing that I do love about Theobromine is that it has high bioavailability. So being able to consume something, whether it's, obviously it's going to be orally. So drinking it or taking the pill, however you have that form, is that it will stay within the body for 7 to 8 hours. So being able to have some of those additional benefits of keeping all of that nitric oxide pushing through is really nice. But again, still want to be aware of that. Now, the next one is Capsi Max. I know a lot of people probably haven't heard of that. They're actually in some of the supplements that I've taken before. This is why some of the ones you're hearing right now has been more of what I've seen, studied, encountered, and actually experienced. But Capsi Max is one of the things that people have tried, but it goes by a different name. So let me put it in the easiest form. When you eat spicy foods, right? And you feel that like, yo, like my stomach is like, you can just feel something in there, or it's just hot, that burning feel. There's different ingredients, or I would say more of the baseline of what's in those types of peppers that gives you that thermogenic feel. So it gives you that burn. And what it does, it helps with weight management and also speeding up your metabolism. That's why you hear a lot of people say, like, they'll eat red peppers or add spices and things of that nature, because it does help with your digestive system. But not only just that, also managing weight loss. And this has been done for hundreds of years. This is
Yeah.
nothing new. This is something that we've seen time and time again. But as we would know, still, whether it's in Capsi Max as far as the form, inside of whether it's a pre-workout, whether it's a fat burner, it doesn't matter. You still want to be aware of how much you're consuming, right? Everything in moderation. This next one, has been used throughout all different types of, medicinal systems, and it's called Yohimbine. People know it as Yohimbine or Yohimbi. There's, again, different forms of it. But this one, I will say that, the clinical studies do show that it has a reduction within body fat and body fat percentage amongst the people that they did do the clinical trials and studies on. But through personal experience, I don't like Yohimbine. And the only reason why is because obviously, I say obviously a lot, but y'all gonna bear with me. But the one thing that I've noticed is everybody's body is different. We've all seen that with different things, whether we're taking supplements, whether we're eating, something just might not work for me as it would for Joy as well. But what's crazy is that I went by what's recommended on the bottle, and I kid you not, I'd rather take just pure caffeine because it gave me, again, that anxiety, heart palpitations. And I was literally doing a class and I'm looking at my heart. I'm not doing anything crazy, just on an aerobic stepper, like doing it for 10, 15, 20 seconds. And I'm done. And I'm just like, yo, my heart rate is like 150 something. And I'm just like, yo, and I'm sitting here holding it. I'm like, yo, no.
Normal. Yeah.
No. And it got to a point where I felt like I almost wanted, I got lightheaded and wanted to pass out. Now, granted, there's certain things that you've probably heard people say, hey, you want to take it before you work out or on an empty stomach so it can work better.
That made it worse. At least for you. I feel like taking that with no food probably make that whole experience worse for you, honestly and truly. So
right. So that's why for me, I've done it with and without food. And it's one of those ingredients that just doesn't work for me personally.
Yeah.
But again, this is something where I highly recommend whatever you're taking, read the back of the label. A lot of these new labels are now suggesting that you take half the dosage. I agree with 100% because everyone's body is not the same. I could take 2 scoops of a pre-workout or take 4 pills for a fat burner, and you should probably start at 2 because of your size, first and foremost, and how, are you somebody that tends to consume something of that nature as far as caffeine or anything of that. So you just want to be very aware of that. The last one is Acetyl-L-Carnitine. So L-Carnitine for short. This has been something that's been around for a really long time as well too. It's produced within different parts of your body, which is really nice to know, but you don't have enough that's available to be able to just kind of, do what it's supposed to do. So L-carnitine is, something as far as one of the amino acids that people do utilize depending on if you have your full spectrum, which you should, which means that you should be eating well-rounded, right? Plug with nutrition. But it helps with taking your body fat and utilizing it into more of energy, an energy source itself. And it has beneficial side effects, or not even side effects, but the benefits. Let me rephrase it. The benefits that it does have is helping with brain functionality, which I think is something that a lot of people don't pay attention to, especially with fat burners and whatnot. A lot of people just want something that just hits and makes them feel like they're sweating. Remember, when you're sweating, your body is just heating up. It's heating up, so it's trying to cool down. So be very aware of that. And it does help with reducing your muscle soreness and also increasing oxygen supply towards your muscles. So these are some of the ones that I can tell you right now. If you go to GNC, what else? Vitamin Shop, Nutrition Smart, all these little local chains, the ones that they're probably going to try to push to you, more than likely have one of these 5. But other than that, again, just remember everything in moderation, and also do your own due diligence. Just because somebody is selling you something, and yes, they might be an expert, but at the end of the day, they're not going to tell you too much about the side effects. They're just going to go ahead and praise all the things it does for you.
And then, it's going to be
you know what I mean?
All the good listed out and it'll look like a little bad line right there.
Disclaimer. It's come on, man. Y'all should at least let me know. And I love that honesty with a lot of people. So that's why I always tell people, when you go to a store, fact check them. Go do your research and then see what they say. It's not trying to, cause any conflict or anything, but you want to make sure that the person you're going to, especially if you're putting your livelihood in their hands when it comes to purchasing certain things, you want to make sure that they're on top of that. But Joy, that's all I got. I don't know if you have a few of them. I know we got some other ones, but I really want you to tap into the ones that people might have seen more recently, or actually, a while back, but it's still something that's continuing as well too. So give us a little insight on what you got on your end.
Yes. And this first one I'm actually going to mention, I'm pretty sure you guys have seen this name, heard this name somewhere. It was very popular. I would say maybe this is 2022, maybe like 3-4 years ago. It just like out of nowhere, everybody was using this same supplement for every fat burning product, and that's going to be Garcinia Cambogia. Basically, it was to be the green tea extract is what that was like pretty much being marketed as. And the whole point was to help to prevent your body from even producing the fat cells. That was the whole marketing behind it. You don't even gain fat. You can just pop a pill, eat regular, and you're still able to lose and have the same kind of weight loss results. And so now what research tells us in 2022 is that there's no real proof that it has that big of an effect on how your body is able to lose weight. I would say that hydroxycitric acid is the main active ingredient in Garcinia Cambogia. It does, like I said, help with far as the fat loss cell production. So you might even see a nice circumference change as far as your waist. But if you want to see the actual weight reduction, you may not see that just with this one vitamin alone. But give y'all a little bit on the side effects. So of course, anything too much of a good thing can be a little side effects to it. So you can end up with headaches, nausea. Of course, anything you're ingesting can cause some very real gastrointestinal problems, and possible liver damage as well. So that's the first one I kind of wanted to go over. The next one is going to be beta glucans, and this one is going to really help you with that feeling of being full, being satiated, and help you to kind of slow down how your body absorbs food. That way, you're able to feel full longer. So for those who are looking to have products that really help control your appetite, you may see this ingredient listed in some of those products. And it's generally safe to consume. It's also with this one, no real effect, at least from what I've seen through my own research, as far as proof that it has a direct correlation to weight loss. But it can, in some ways, help, especially when it comes to your appetite. So helping that be suppressed can help you not eat more. And then that can be, in turn, result to you having weight loss results. But it can get a little flatulent. So that's like one of the side effects to it. Not anything crazy. It can get a little gassy around here. It's not anything that you have to worry about. But just keep that in mind as well. Another one, I see this comment a lot as well. Green coffee bean extract. So you see that a lot as well. And typically it's called the green coffee bean because coffee beans tend to be green before they get roasted. It's also help with your fat loss, with the fat cell production being reduced in your body, and also help to reduce how your body stores glucose or sugars as well. Of course, it has caffeine in it, this coffee bean. And this one actually does have shown, based on the research, to show like really good, at least moderate to good effects as far as weight loss when it's combined with a high fat diet. So depending on how your current diet is, having this incorporated with not too many carbs, of course, having a full balanced meal, active lifestyle, you could see some good results with this particular ingredient as well. Generally safe. Of course, everything comes with some kind of side effects, so you could possibly get a headache with too much consumption, or a UTI, depending on how your liver has everything processes throughout. Right on to the next one, Guar Gum. Hope I said that right. Guar Gum. Yeah, basically, this is a dietary fiber that's found in the Indian cluster bean. So you pretty much will find this in most dietary supplements, but especially gluten-free foods as well. It's the real binding agent for most gluten-free foods. And basically, because of its binding properties, it helps you as far as weight loss by being able to expand in your stomach. That way, you're able to feel fuller longer. That's the whole point behind this particular bean. Now, as far as how it contributes to your weight loss is another one that has shown some effects, but not any direct correlation to your weight loss. Of course, if you feel full longer, like I said before, with some of these other supplements, you're not going to want to eat as much. But people have seen to have results as far as, like I said, their waist circumference. So you could see some slimming around the waistline, but may not see that scale drop. So you kind of want to but honestly, truly, you really want to see the results physically. And the scale is like, it's nice to see, but it's really like a after effect as far as how you want to look at your own weight loss journey. Of course, with too much consumption with this, it can cause some abdominal pain. You can get diarrhea, nausea as well, and some bowel obstruction as far as how often you're having regular bowel movements. So, of course, keep in mind how you consume and how often you consume. Make sure that you're fully hydrated as well and eating enough foods to really be able to help your body absorb these ingredients properly. And one more that I kind of want to spotlight for today's episode as well is called Hoodia. It's Hoodia gordoni for the full terminology for the name. It's actually a plant found in the Kalahari Desert, I believe in South Africa, if I remember what that desert is correctly. But basically, it was used as an appetite suppressant, traditionally used, for going on long hunts. That way, you won't be hungry while you're out searching for your next meal. Now this one is actually very commonly used, but it's actually not that heavily researched, which kind of surprises me a little bit. So at least not with humans. It's researched, through animals, through other like small clinical studies, but not a big range of studies when it comes to actually how human bodies respond to it. But we have known based on the few that have been done with humans that it can increase the heart rate. So that feeling that Deion was like, mentioning earlier, as far as that real anxiety feeling, checking your pulse, you're just like, I feel like I'm really just wired. You could get the same kind of effect with Hoodia as well. So if you happen to come across this ingredient on the back of your labels for your next supplement, I will say definitely keep in mind the dosage for that one. Maybe start off with like half of what's recommended. See how your body reacts. And then, of course, if you feel fine, after that first few trials, then slowly increase the dosage from there as well. And for this particular one, you can, as well, similar to all the other ones, get headaches, dizziness, nausea, and some gastrointestinal issues as well with extended long-term use if not taken properly. But those are the main ones I kind of wanted for us to cover, at least on my end today. I'm not sure if Deion had anything else he wanted to add on for today's episode.
Listen, I'm not throwing no shade or anything.
Oh,
okay, let's open the floor like that.
The only thing I have
to so it's coming. So what I've been noticing, I don't watch the television like that. I really don't. But the times that I have, and it happens to be around I would say around like 10, 11 o'clock, the times that we should be, I see a lot of the, like we were saying, like the, oh my gosh, what was the name that you said earlier? Hydroxy cuts and stuff like that. Like they don't really push it like that as much. But now there's a specific place that most people shop, if you get my drift. We call Wally World, right? They are literally so you know how you watch a show and then it goes on commercial, you got your little whatever it is. They are pushing it like it's a whole nother drug. And they're getting to a point to where it's like, hey, just take the capsule and then just go about your day and do what you want to do. Like you were saying earlier with one of the first ingredients. And it's just like, as coaches, like, that's not how it works, like, at all. So the fact that you guys are giving this whole perception of, oh, I could just take 2 pills, go about my day and not have to do anything, that's wrong. So I just want to make sure that people are very aware when you see these commercials. If you have an opportunity, just pay attention to what they're saying, right? Hearing, and watch what's on the TV with what's going on. See what's really going on that commercial, because most of the time they're not working out, or they might be fake work, whatever it is, but they don't ever say, hey, supplement this with a well-rounded diet, right, or exercising, things of that sort. What do they say? Head to your local store now and go grab this now. I'm like, okay, cool. We see the sense of urgency, but you're still not explaining why or how this helps. You don't say that there's any studies of anything. So I know that a lot of people are going to these stores, and I'm not judging anybody, but just going based off the fact of, okay, if it's on TV, then it's something that should be trusted. You got to remember,
These
a
are
lot of these
marketers.
companies, right, they're marketers, so they know how to get you in the store. But a lot of these companies that are creating a majority of these supplements don't have you in their best interest. I'm going to just call it for what it is. You know, whether people want to hear that or not, but that's really what it is. So when you're doing your due diligence, make sure you know what's in there, why it's in there, or what it, at least what it does. And then from there, see how your body works with it. But that's all I wanted to say. Is just it was on my
I
chest,
feel you. I feel it's like
because
you have to
that's not cool.
understand they're trying to like play into your humanness and your like psychology of how you feel. Especially if us coming off of coming off of COVID, it's like we're 2 years into this thing. Some of us are still dealing with COVID weight, that good COVID-15 or whatever that we've gained over this last year and a half or whatever. So it's like they know where you're at right now. They know how urgent it is for you to want, like even before COVID, they know how urgent people want to be able to lose weight and look better and feel better instantly. It's a very microwavable popcorn kind of society. We want everything now, right now. Want to lose weight now, but you have to understand, like for one, Deion said, like they're just trying to play into your emotions. These are marketers who are trying to basically just bring you in to get what they want from you, regardless of how it may affect you afterwards. So it's like with anything, first of all, everything is kind of like, within the name. These are dietary supplements. So nothing should just be you do this one thing and then all your problems go away. Right. If anybody tells you that should be the red flag, just waving in the air, right, right there next to you. So if you do want to try these things, anything that you want to do health-wise has to all come into a balance with having a good level of activity for your lifestyle, having a good level of having balanced diet between your fats, your carbs, your vegetables, your greens, your proteins, whatever like that. Everything has to be encompassing and reincorporating like everything within one. That's the main thing, because I really it's the really like take one pill and you lose 10 pounds instantly. That gets me every time. That I just hate that kind of marketing tactics. I'm just like, that's not how biology works. That's not how science works. And me, understanding how it is to gain weight. I didn't pop one pill and gain 20 pounds. That's not how this happens. I tell you how it happened. One bite at a time is how this weight came on. So how it's going to come off, it's like, cause and effect. This one action caused it to happen. So I just do that in reverse, it's going to cause the opposite intended effect. So just keep that in mind. Like, be patient with yourselves on your journey as far as your fitness, whether it's to gain weight, lose weight, whatever like that, to bulk up, however your journey is for you. Be mindful and just letting yourself go through the full motions of it. Try things out, see how things work. Get things like, a few weeks to see how how your body responds to it. Because like I said, it's always going to be a lifetime journey. It's not going to be 6 weeks and then you lose the weight and then that's it. We're done. We can just throw the whole lifestyle away. You have to make sure that it really works for you long term. But not to go onto a soapbox. The one, because he mentioned it and I was just like, "Oh, yes, those ads be getting on my nerves." When I see them all the time, and then see people who I know, family and friends, like really play into it. And you want to just shake them, like, just stop, just stop.
Better. You know better.
You know better. You want to just put it down. You know what I'm saying? But we don't make these episodes to try to like scare y'all to not want to try anything that's out here. We just want to have you guys be able to make the most informed decision. What this whole show is about, this whole podcast is about, like helping y'all be informed about what's in these things, and that way what things to kind of look out for. It's okay, it has its side effects, not anything too crazy, but the benefits could work out for me. Let me just see how this works and just try it out, and definitely do your own due diligence. That's if we don't take the biggest takeaway from any episode that we do, just do your own due diligence about everything. Make sure you know what's going into your body first and foremost, for sure. But yeah, that's really all I have. I'm getting off my soapbox and put it to the side. But Deion, if you have any kind of like last minute church announcements for the family that we want to go over. Nothing, no.
No, no, no. That is for y'all to wait and see. Nothing crazy though. Nothing crazy as of right now, family. Like we said, we appreciate you all coming and joining us every week, tapping in with us, getting this beautiful information, and just know that we really make sure that we have everything on the back end ready for you guys. And this is what we love doing, just making sure that we're able to make an impact in a positive way, and being able to be in a position to where we can give you our experience from a coach's aspect. And even before that, just being, people who love working out and going through this whole experience. And we were where you are at this point in time, at some point in time, if that
Yeah.
made sense. So at some point in time, we started from the beginning, is what I'm saying. So to be able to be in a position where we can kind of just give you our insight, it really does mean a lot. So we appreciate you guys, and just know we love you. But that's all I have to say as of right now.
Well, then, all right, family. So that will conclude this week's episode of the Fitness Headspace Podcast. As always, you guys, go ahead and hit that like button, share it down with how many people, Deion? We ask for each and every week.
As we say in French, trois, just three.
Okay, that was nice. I like that one. I like that. But yeah, y'all, 3 people. Just share it out. Anybody who wants to be more in tune with how this weight loss journey works, or just curious, or just wanting it for entertainment reasons, just share it out. Just to help support the podcast, support Black creators out here. Help us help y'all. You know what I'm saying? Get the word out. But and also while you're there, down below in the YouTube channel box, go ahead and hit that subscribe button as well. And then right next to that, since you're already there, go ahead and hit that little bell. That bell will let you know every time we upload, or right as we upload. That way you're the first to know. You're the first to know what's going on, first to know what's happening. And if you have not already, definitely follow our main page on the Evolve Fitness page. Everything will be down below. If you guys go ahead and just click and go right over to Instagram. We have some really dope things happening for y'all this year, you guys. I definitely want y'all to be in tune with that, to be in sync with the community. So, of course, stay locked in. But if all hearts and minds are clear, that'll be it for y'all. So we will catch y'all on the next one. Bye, family.